Otherworlders are a special case in Tensura, being people who either got forcibly summoned to the world or died and reincarnated there. So in this video we'll be going over their skills and stories, starting with Leon, one of the current Demon Lords and also being a former true chosen hero. He slipped into the central world with Chloe through a dimensional distortion. He went on to become the chosen hero, then proclaimed himself as a Demon Lord. He then antagonized Kazalim, a former Demon Lord, which ended up in them fighting and Leon coming out the victor. Leon ended up claiming Kazalim's spot. He and Chloe got separated when summoned, which is the reason he's been using and studying summoning magic. His skill is Metatron, which can purify energy into a pure state, which is superior to even holy magic. It turns the user into a walking god of destruction through the use of Spiritron particles. The only downside was that it always caused massive collateral damage, but this was fixed when it was later evolved by CL into Tensura. This evolution gave the user total control over Spiritron particles, making it so the user doesn't cause collateral damage like before. For the next Otherworlder, we have Tatsuya Kondo, who is currently serving under Rudra in the Eastern Empire. Originally, he was the second lieutenant in the Royal Guard of Japan. He was fearlessly defending his country from phantoms that invaded but ended up getting transported just before he met his demise in a plane crash. He holds the unique skill Sandaphone, which allows him to dispel magical effects, drain targets of their energy, prevent targets from using magic and magical based healing, and remove defensive barriers. He also has the unique skill Decipher, which can read the thoughts and feelings of targets the user is in contact with. One of the first Otherworlders we met is Shizue, who is also known as the Conqueror of Flames. Originally, she had a sad life in her original world. She had no relatives and lived alone with her mom. She was summoned during World War II's Tokyo bombing, and while she was summoned before any bombs could hit her, she was badly burned in the process. To then get told by Leon that he didn't even mean to summon her. She has the greater element of flame, Ifrit, and she has the unique skill Degenerate. This skill can chain the effects of several skills together, giving the user new skills. She can even separate properties and deprive someone of their skills that aren't bound to their soul. Yuuki's next, being known as the Grand Master of the Free Guild and the leader of the Harley Quinn Alliance. He is an Otherworlder from Japan, and both of his parents were hit by truck-kun and the driver was ruled innocent. Despite wanting revenge, he decided to become a politician and change the world step by step. But before he could even get to it, he was summoned by Gale. Right now he holds the unique skill Creator, which allows him to create any ability he desires, and he created a skill called Anti-Skill, which nullifies almost anything. It can completely shut down majority of skills, including ultimate skills. Later on, he gets the ultimate skill Mamon, which can take energy from targets, making it his own, dominate people, and even steal skills except ultimate skills from their target. He also gets the skill I'm just called Melch, which can instantly analyze the target's power and put it under control. An Otherworlder who Rimuru fought recently is Hinata, who is the leader of the 10 Great Saints. Originally, she lived with her father, who was a gambling addict who caused them to be in massive debt, and she also lived with her mother. She ended up murdering her father for life insurance, which caused her mother to have an emotional breakdown. Hinata planned to give up on life but was teleported to the central world, where she was attacked by 3 bandits and ended up gaining 2 unique skills. Mathematician, which is an analyst skill that also allows her to predict outcomes. And Usurper, which allows her to copy or steal the skills and arts of an analyzed target. She studied under Shizue but quickly surpassed her and left her because she feared being attached to her, and went on to become the leader of the 10 Great Saints. Later on, she gets the ultimate skill Fortuna, which is the essence of future sight. Its 2 strong abilities aren't explained yet, but it's most likely overpowered. Another student of Shizue is Chloe, who later on becomes a true hero. She came to the central world via a dimensional crack alongside Leon, but immediately was called to the present era by Yuuki, which caused them to get separated. She holds the unique skill Time Traveler, which allows the user to send their memories to a specific point in the past. She can't control it, but it was triggered later on in the story, which took her 4,000 years in the past. It's a bit complicated, but if you're interested, I have a video on my channel explaining everything. Someone in the recent episodes is Masayuki, also known as the Flash Chosen Hero. He's the reincarnation of Rudra, who was trained by Velden Nava to become the true chosen hero to rival Guy Crimson. When he was walking one day, he saw a girl with blue hair that caught his eye. He turned around and he was in another world. He immediately went to protect a girl that was being harassed and got the unique skill Chosen One. It has the power to influence those around him. With this skill, he becomes the luckiest person alive, making lethal attacks not do their normal damage, to even buffing his and his allies' attacks. This skill also forces events to play out with him as the hero, making him be seen in a positive light no matter what. He can buff his allies and even turn defeated enemies into allies. Later on, he's also able to replicate fallen allies' abilities, memories, and experiences as well. Shogo, Kyoya, and Karara are next, being the Otherworlders from the Kingdom of Phalum that attack Tempest. Shogo was originally a Japanese high schooler summoned by Rasen. He was given the unique skill Berserker, which enhances the user's overall physical capabilities. It takes in magic kills around the user and temporarily enhances their body, making it as hard as metal. This skill also applies a special property to the user's attack that destroys any ordinary piece of weaponry or suit or armor with ease. After taking the life of Karara, he was given the unique skill Survivor, which grants the user immunity to all elements and natural effects. It doesn't grant protection to physical or spiritual attacks. It also allows their body to regenerate from all wounds. Kyoya also lived in Japan but was summoned by an unknown Western nation before being given to Rasen. He was given the unique skill Sever, which allows the user to make dummy swords that can be swapped out for the real one at any time. It has the power to create a near unhealable space distorting energy capable of cutting through almost anything. Just like them, Karara came from Japan as well. Before she was summoned, she was a carefree girl who liked to hang out with her friends. But this changed after she was summoned to the Central World by Rasen. Her personality changed completely and she was given the unique skill Bewilder. It's so powerful she killed a vast amount of people just after being summoned. It allows the user to convert their intentions into waves transmitting via their voice. It allows them to create subliminal messages or issue direct commands, so telling someone to die ends up killing them. Another person with an overpowered ability is Marriabel, who is now a princess. Like Rimuru, she ended up dying and being reincarnated into the Central World. She kept all her memories and remembered in her past life she was a ruler who once dominated Europe. Due to her memories, she had an intense desire to dominate, which gifted her the unique skill Greed. It has the power to dominate human desires and bend the subject to their will. Depending on how strong the person's desire is, the easier they are to control. She can also convert her own or the target's soul energy to increase her power and even convert the target's desire to live into a desire to die. Now we have Rimuru, the main character, who died in his past life and reincarnated as a slime. He became a slime because he mentioned something about it hurts the blood while dying, which caused the words of the world to create a body that doesn't require blood. Currently in the anime, he has 4 ultimate skills, being Beelzebub, Lord of Gluttony, Raphael, Lord of Wisdom, Uriel, Lord of Vows, and Veldora, Lord of Storms. Beelzebub has insane offense and defense and can devour almost anything as if it was a black hole. Raphael not only supports Rimuru in battle, auto uses skills, she also creates, copies, and evolves skills for him. Then Uriel has insane defense that can defend against pretty much anything. And finally, his skill Veldora allows him to summon Veldora and make Veldora practically unkillable. Another Otherworlder who attacked Tempest and killed Shion is Folgen, who was the Knight Leader of the Kingdom of Falumph. He was summoned by Rasen, but unlike the others, he showed genuine loyalty to the nation. He went on to become Rasen's underling and developed a friendship with him. He saw the other Otherworlders as nothing but materials to strengthen himself with his unique skill Spearhead. It specializes in leading subordinates into battle, letting him know the power of those he leads and make proper use of it. He can also acquire the skills of those under his command after witnessing their deaths. Next we have more students of both Rimuru and Shizue, being Alice Rondo, Ryota Sekiguchi, Kenya Misaki, and Gale Gibson. They were all fell victims of summoning rituals who weren't given a unique skill which sealed their fate due to magic heal overflow. With no unique skill, they had no way of balancing the build-up of magic heals in their body. While none of them were given unique skills, Rimuru gave them all spirits. Gale was given the artificial greater spirit of earth, Ryota was given the artificial water/wind spirit, Alice was given the artificial space spirit, and Kenya actually summoned a greater spirit of light which marked him as a future hero. Then there's Yoshida, who is a confectioner in Tempest. He appeared into the world without being summoned and continued to pursue his passion in making desserts. He doesn't have a unique skill. Someone who also doesn't have much information as of now is Venom, who is currently Diablo's direct subordinate. Like I said, there's currently no information about his past or unique skill. One of Hinata's subordinates is Glenda Atlee, who is a member of the 10 Great Saints and was previously under Granbell. She was originally a mercenary with phenomenal combat skill, but was brought into the Central World by the Rozo family and was forced to serve them. She carried out their dirty work and was given the unique skill Sniper. It allows the user to use spatial manipulation to create a portal connecting the user to their target and fire a bullet through it. The range is limited to people and objects within the user's mana perception. Mana perception uses mana as an extra sense to perceive the surrounding magic kills and see a 360 around them. Shinji Tanimura is next, being a disciple of Gadra and was formerly a military officer in the Eastern Empire. Before being summoned, he was a university student who spent most of his time in a lab. When summoned, he was taken in by Yuuki and was put under Gadra. He was given the unique skill Healer, which allows him to manipulate viruses. He can also spread them and heal as well. With this skill, he's nigh invincible against living creatures. Another person who was taken in by Yuuki is Mai Furuki. She is a deaf man who was allied with Yuuki to overthrow Emperor Ryuja. Before this, she was a high school student who looked after her sick little brother. After being summoned, she was taken care of by Yuuki, who supported her. She ended up helping Yuuki fight Ryuja, but her life came to an end by one of the Imperial Guards. She was then resurrected by Gale and was forced to take in the power of the Seraph, making her into a mystic angel in Michael's army. We then have Bernie, who is a member of Masayuki's party and is actually an Imperial Guard. Before being summoned, he was born in the United States as an ordinary student. He was then found by Gadra after being summoned, who took him in and tasked him with the role of protecting Masayuki, who resembled Ryuja, their leader. He was given an ultimate enchantment by Michael, which gave him absolute superiority over both magic and unique skills. This also allowed him to resist Masayuki's charm effect. Two more students of Gadra, with the first being Shin Ryusei, who is currently under Ramrus right now. He doesn't have much of a background, but just after being summoned, he was enlisted as a first lieutenant of the Eastern Empire's army. He was also one of the 3 people sent by Yuuki to investigate Tempest's underground labyrinth. His unique skill is Perceiver, which allows him to detect danger, traps, monsters, presence, and even evade instincts. Mark Lauren is the second student of Gadra. He's an American and he's also one of the other 3 people sent by Yuuki. He has the unique skill Thrower, which allows him to throw anything graspable, even a monster or the air itself. When thrown, it packs a punch on impact. Another person who fell for Yuuki's schemes is Arios, who is a mystic angel that serves Michael right now. There isn't much information about before he came to the Central World, but once he got here, he joined the Eastern Empire but had no loyalty. He ended up teaming with Yuuki to try to overthrow Ryuja, which ended up in his death. He was also resurrected by Gale and turned into a mystical angel. His unique skill is Murder, which specializes in stealth and assassination. It erases all sound made by the user and fully conceals them. He also has Sandalphone, which allows the user to dispel magical effects, drain targets' energy, prevent targets from using magic and magic kill based healing by destroying their mana circuits, and even break down targets' defensive barriers. But if you made it this far, like and subscribe and consider watching another.